Hello Virgo, thank you for tuning in to your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm going to use the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay. First half is going to be relationship, second half is going to be singles. Getting the burps already, let's see how this goes. And oracle cards come out where necessary. Alright. So you got the Emperor at the bottom here. I'm getting this is more about your partner. Don't get caught up in the gender, especially with general reads. Gender reads. Okay. I'm definitely getting this is about this other person, and they seem to be. I don't know if I want to get these. This is better. Okay. I feel like we got a lot of cards, but let's just start and go from there. I do feel like it's about your partner more. Where they're going and what they want. It seems like it's very centered around them, what's going on right now. Clearly it affects you, clearly. But I'm getting like, this seems to be working in the beginning. Now I'm noticing these are in the challenge position for this read. Your partner has the Page of Wands, you have the Judgment. In your favor? Yes. So you're seeing it in your favor. And I'm not going to negate that, but I'm feeling like at first blush you just kind of accept it. It sounds good. Let's go with it. I do feel like you're actually going to make it to this point where that's how you truly feel. But in the beginning, I don't feel like there's a lot of thought into it. I think you're just kind of going with it because it's just what's happening. I don't think you're overthinking it. I think that's what we're talking about here. Because it seems like you're with it, you're okay, like, yep, let's do it. But it hasn't really sunk in, like, actually what's going on hasn't sunk in, or doing it hasn't sunk in yet. So I feel like this initial reaction is where you're going to end up. But I feel like you're going to hit a bump before you're actually comfortable in the Judgment in your favor. Because your partner likes it. I feel like the way you and your partner are working out, your partner likes the positive response, and you're going with that. And you have every intention to go along with this. It seems like on paper it seems good. And I get the reason this is a challenge in the challenge position is because that's where you want to be. It is where you're going to be, but it may not be. You may not feel that way once it starts. Once the ball starts rolling. I hope this is coming across correctly. Because I feel like you have a good outlook on this. And I feel like at first blush, you're like, yes, okay, let's do this. Now, this is where we go first. Now, it seems like this is something that goes over a few weeks. You have a bunch of oracle cards going on here. It's saying that there's going over a few weeks. Happy changes. Perfect timing. Like, I do feel you're on board with this. So I don't want to say you're not. But I'm noticing when you start, it's like 7 of Wands. You're doing well, but there are some challenges you have to overcome. You do overcome them. And it seems to drag on, and I feel like that might be the thing. Like the changing is taking a while, and things are dragging out. It's kind of like having to... I don't know why I'm equating it to farm chores, but I'm equating it to farm chores. If you like farm chores, that's one thing, but like there's some very less than glamorous chores to be done on a farm. Let's put it that way. Things that have to be done. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on here, because you're going into, like, as you're going into this a couple months. Is it a couple months or a couple weeks? Because it feels like a couple months to me. It says a few weeks. I'm getting like it might drag on for a few months. Part of me thinks maybe it's supposed to be a few weeks, that it seems to drag on for a few months is what I'm feeling. And it's just kind of like farm chores, like cleaning up animal excrement and like just making sure everything's taken care of, and just like it's a lot of, farm work is hard work. Let me just put it that way. It's not glamorous, and it's hard work in my opinion. And I feel like this is kind of how you're balancing it out, but it's kind of getting like that. It's just kind of like, I really don't like doing this. It has to be done, but it's kind of like wearing you down is what I'm feeling. And you think, again, it's coming back to the Judgment card. This is going to work out in your favor in the long run, but I feel like you're hitting this moment where it's just like, you got two things here. You got the Nine of Pentacles and you got the There's Something Better. I feel like you're trying to find a different way to handle this because I feel like you're not really wanting to do this much longer. And you're just kind of like, I feel like you're just questioning, like, is this really a good idea? Because this is really going on a lot longer than I expected, and maybe there's something else I can do here. Now I'm getting this as going forward. Your partner, they're pushing forward pretty quickly. I don't know if I want to say that. They're starting this pretty quickly. It may not be starting off at a full run, but I feel like it takes off quicker than expected. And this is part of the thing where that might be the beginning where you're overcoming these challenges, where it's just kind of like a very abrupt start. It's not like you're starting off at a run, but I feel like it's just happening quick. It's just starting quick. Not at a run, but still. And then it's like it's the Pentacle here, though. It's Ace of Pentacles in the sense of like it's going to go on for a while. And I feel like this is one of the things where you're realizing this situation is going to stick for a while. And that's why, it's kind of like that farm chore feel. Like, it's going to keep going for a while. Is there something else I can do? Because I really, even though it's a good situation, and I feel like that's what the Nine of Pentacles is saying, it's a good situation, you're kind of wanting to change the rules here. You want to change the game because you're like, this is going to go on for a while. And you're recognizing that. Now, as it goes forward, too, your partner seems to be aware that you're not really... You're not really, like, in the beginning, like, you're trying to hold on, but it's showing, like, over the weeks, as the weeks are passing, because I feel like this is something that was supposed to go on for a few weeks, it's turning into a few months. I feel like your partner is looking at you, and they're seeing that, like, this is starting to wear you down. And I feel like they're trying to, like, think it through, like, what do I need to do here, because this seems like it's becoming a problem. Is there something I can do to change this or rectify this so that it's not a problem? And I feel like you're kind of like you're seeing that they're, I don't know, you're not seeing them. I don't feel like you're connecting with them, realizing that you're kind of getting worn down. Something kind of like throws this. I'm trying to connect what we're talking about here, because they seem to be paying attention. They seem to be concerned. But they're also like, it's just a little bit longer. Can I just hold on? Can we just keep going just a little bit longer? And I feel like they're starting to question because they're realizing this is going on longer than expected. Now, in the spiritual spot for them, they have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like there's some worry here because I'm getting like this makes me feel like this situation has changed. And I feel like the way they're looking at it is like it's not settling in the way they expected it to. I'm getting like the reason the 5 is here is because what they thought it was going to feel or work out to be is not matching. And they're not feeling like this is connecting. They got the you're ready and unlikely here. So they're feeling like, so it's like, they can make this work out. That's the you're ready. But it's unlikely it's going to go like they originally planned. So it's still going to work out, but not the way they originally thought it was going to work out. Okay. So, and this is another reason why, like a situation that was supposed to go over a few weeks, I feel like it's going into a few months, possibly longer. Because this is why you're having this, you're looking at it like, I don't really like doing these things. And this is going to hold on longer than I expected it to. What else can I do to make this easier on myself? Because a few weeks was one thing. A few months is pushing it. And if it's going to go beyond that, this isn't going to work. I feel like that's where you're standing. Now, Your partner has the Knight of Cups on their side. It's on the opposite side of your Nine of Pentacles. Now, they seem to have some type of idea here. They're coming toward... I feel like something is changing here. Your partner comes towards you with a solution because they were aware that you were not happy. They were seeing it, but they were like trying to... I feel like they were first looking at it like, maybe it's just a little while longer, but then when they're realizing it's not going to work out that way, they come towards you because they seem to have found a different way to handle this. I feel like they might have had this thought in their brain a while, but it wasn't as favorable because they thought it was just going to be a few weeks. I don't feel like they thought it was going to hold on this long. The timetable has changed, and it was because it was going to be a shorter span. They just didn't think it was worth going down this other road. But now that they see it's going to be a lot longer is what I'm getting. They have another ace up their sleeve to change things up, because I feel like they were aware of this before, but it just didn't seem like it was necessary because it wasn't going to hold on that long. But now that it seems like it's going to drag on a bit longer, they have some other ideas about how to change things and make it better for you. Because I feel like they're thinking about you in this sense. This is something they want to do. This is something that they seem to be kicking off and going. You're very supportive here. And again, judgment is in your favor, but I feel like at first you're just like, yeah, let's do it. This sounds great. This will work out wonderful. But as you get into it, I feel like you're like, this is droning on too long, like farm chore feel. Like, this is just a lot of work. This is not pretty work. Like, I'm not really enjoying this. Like, I don't know if you've ever been around people who work in a barn, but when you get out of a barn, you don't smell like roses. That's all I'm saying. Now, see, I'm getting this at the end. A year from now, like, it's going to go on for a good 8 months, if not a year, maybe a little bit longer. Like, this situation is really dragging out a lot longer than expected. A lot longer. Your partner does, like, your partner has the King of Pentacles here. They already had thoughts about what could be changed to make this easier. Again, I don't feel like in the beginning they thought it was going to drag on this long. But because they're seeing the change and like it's wearing you down for one, that's a big factor here. It's wearing you down, and they're realizing like this isn't fair to you. They don't like this. They don't like it wearing you down. They don't like it at all. So they had something else up their sleeve. They're pulling this forward and they're like cementing in a different way to handle this. You have the Magician on your side. You're seeing these opportunities. You're taking hold of them. And I feel like your partner seems to have the possibilities and ideas about what can be changed. You're grabbing hold of them, and you're editing them and moving them around to make them more suitable to you. So your partner has the ideas, and they seem to know what to do to change the situation to make it more conducive with what you would like. You're taking a hold of it, and you're making it happen. I feel like they're just saying, we could do this, and you're like, we're doing that. And you just grab it and run. I mean, because you're really not wanting to do this. You're just not really enjoying this situation. So you're taking as much stress off yourself as possible. I don't feel like you're putting any extra stress on your partner, but you're definitely taking care of the situation the best you can. You are jumping at this because you're realizing at this point, and I feel like your partner, if you haven't realized at this point, your partner is letting you know this is going to go on a lot longer than expected. And I'm getting between you, the way this works out is the Page of Pentacles. Like, I feel like you're both cementing into this change. You feel better, they feel better. It's more of kind of like, it can be worked out. I still don't feel like you're excited about what you have to do. I don't feel like you're really enjoying it all that much. But it's not weighing you down like it was. It's doable now. It's doable. You're not really excited about it, but it's doable. You can do that. It's fine. So it does kind of work out good at the end here. There's a little change due to the timetable just is not what was expected in the beginning. I feel like that's the whole kicker here. Timetable turns out to not be what it was expected to be. Your partner does see that you're being like drawn down, like it's pulling you down, so they're giving you options. You're like, that's great, let's go with that, and you make it happen. And then you seem to like reconstitute the connection here, or reevaluate the plan, or have a different way of doing it that you stick with till the end. It's not the sunny day you would prefer it to be, but it's good enough. You can do it till the end. You're fine. Good? Alright, so that's it for Virgo relationships. Let's do Virgo singles. Single Virgo. What do we have for single Virgo? Messages for single Virgos. Empowering information to help them find what they want in life, help them move things in the direction they want to go, give them insight where they can have it to make things easier, or prepare them for what they need to do or need to know. Whatever works best for the Virgos watching, to strengthen them and give them that help that they need. Okay. What are you doing? We have the Seven of Wands at the bottom. That's overcoming obstacles. It's challenges nonetheless, but overcoming them. We're going to find out in a minute what we're talking about, I'm sure, but... Alright. Alright, let's see where this is going. Chloe, go now. I pet her all day. She is not neglected, but I swear if I start talking to a camera or somebody else, she's like, nope, nope, that's my attention. That's mine. You can't give that to other people. We're starting out, the strongest card here is your thoughts. You got temperance. You're waiting something out. You're taking your time. You're evaluating. You're waiting something out is what I'm getting. Because this is single Virgo, right? Yeah. What is going on here is with the past is my question, because you got the Four. This is a strong card, but it seems my first gut reaction is like somebody who used to be married has now come towards you. And I'm not really convinced like it's a used to be married. I feel like somebody who might be married. Somebody seems to be committed somewhere else. Because I'm getting that with this card. I wanted to say that they were free, but I don't feel like they're free. I feel like they're still attached to somebody. And they're coming towards you. My question is, do you know this? Because it seems like you should. Part of me thinks you might figure this out as you get deeper into the situation. Because you are taking your temperance here. And I feel like either you knew at one point or you're suspecting that this person is attached to somebody else. And that's also the reason why you got the Hanged Man where you're standing. You're just like, this isn't an option because I'm not looking for like a halfway. I'm not looking to be the second fiddle here or just every now and then fun person. I want to be number one. I want to be the one. So there's this going on, but it seems like the emotion is there, so you might be like just keeping an eye on it just to see if that falls apart, if something comes your way. Not wishing it, but just like, if something goes less than favorable for that relationship, maybe I'll have a chance here. Because your heart's kind of pulling you that way. It's not a malicious thing, it's just your heart's going that way. I hope that makes sense. Now, the person that's in this relationship, because I feel like there's somebody in this relationship, that's what I'm getting. They're considering options. They are tied to their commitment, very tied to it, but their heart seems to be going towards you as well. My question is it their heart going towards you, or is it some other desire that's pushing towards you? And I feel like the person that's interested in you might not even have that answer themselves. They just know that they're attracted to you, and they seem like, I don't know, they seem to be pulling towards you, pushing towards you, going towards you, whatever you want to say. So this seems to be the base of the situation. Now, there's these two things happening. You got the Three of Pentacles. Things are being worked out. I feel like people are learning about each other here. I feel like you and this other person, you're learning something about this person. You're learning information about this person with this. The Three of Pentacles, I feel like you're getting information, and I don't know if you're I don't even know if you're looking for it, but you're definitely getting it. So the situation here with this person, you're hearing about this, you're learning about what's going on with them. And I feel like they're coming towards you. And I feel like for most of you, this is coming directly from that person. For the majority of you, that's how this should be hitting. This person's directly telling you what's going on in their life. And I'm getting both ways. You got the Page of Wands. This is a very active listening. The active listening is something where you're absorbing, you're asking questions, but you're also taking action on the information you get. Which is why, excuse me, that's why you get the Ace of Cups here. I do feel like this is a romantic connection. To what level that goes to is definitely in your court. But for some of you, that's definitely going to go to a physical place. For others of you, it's going to be acknowledged how you both feel, and that's going to be enough to make you get that feeling like, oh boy, like, like it's going to be an uncomfortable moment right after this because it's there, and there's no denying it. Like, you both feel, like, the Ace of Cups is telling me both ways, you know where you stand. You know how you feel, you know what you both want. Now, the air, if you will, the weather of the situation at the moment is you have the Five of Pentacles. Like, I do get this goes both ways too. You're both like, this is leaving you both on the outside of what you actually want. It's like you both want to be living inside that home together, but you're both on the outside. You can't cement this in because of the commitment the other person already has. There's a problem here, clearly. If this reading is taken of you, of course. And this seems to be where you're kind of stuck. If this becomes a physical moment or not, I don't feel like that is what's determining this, because you're going to feel this way either way, because you're both going to seem to know where you stand and feel like you're left on the outside of what you actually want. Now, the overall energy for this that I got was the overcoming obstacles, the Seven of Wands. And in your future, I'm seeing the King of Pentacles. I kind of feel, I'm getting a very Virgo-connected feeling here. I mean, Virgo is Earth. This is clearly Earth, too. I'm getting you're putting your foot down. Whether that was a physical moment or not, in the center here with this Ace of Cups, whether or not it was, you're still putting your foot down. You're like, I can't do this half-life thing. It's either let's do it or let's not, but I'm not going to be the side fiddle. I'm not going to be second fiddle. I'm not going to do that. So if you're going to leave that person and that's what you're going to do, then that's one thing. If you're not, then you need to stay away from me because I can't do this. I feel like you're putting your foot down. Like this, I can't do this. I can't do this. You need to make your decision. And if you can't make a decision whether you're going to stay or not with that person, you're still making the decision to walk away from me because I'm not going to be waiting here on the sidelines for when you feel like you might be ready. I can't do that. I feel like that's where you're going with this. You're putting your foot down. King of Pentacles, strong energy. I can't do it. I can't do that. Which is making me feel like this is part of that overcoming the obstacle. You're standing up for yourself. You're like, you know what? Yes, the feelings are there, but this half-life is not for me. This is not for me. Not going to do it. I'm sorry. If you're going to leave that person, that's one thing. But if you're not sure, you're staying away from me either way. Because if you're not sure, that's as good as you're not leaving that person. Same thing. I'm not going to be a part of it. No. So, the end here, the Tower card happens with the Eight of Wands. You're not expecting this. The unlikely, like they're trying to really highlight, you're really not expecting it to go this way. The unlikely with the Tower, like the Tower itself is a shock, but like I feel like the unlikely right on top of it is saying you're not even believing it as it's happening. This person seems to be breaking off this connection. They seem to be ending this relationship. And even as they're doing this, you're still doubting it. You're doubting that it's going to stick. You're doubting that it's actually going to completely come apart. So the Tower, it happens fast. The Tower says it's a shock that it's even happening. The unlikely is like you still don't, even when it's happening, you're just like, I don't even know if that's going to stay. Maybe they're just having a temporary breakup. Like, I don't know. I feel like you're still in disbelief. Even when it's happening. Even when the Tower has fell. You're still like, they're just going to rebuild it the same way. Like, I don't know if I really believe that. In the environment, the other person They are going towards you. I feel like you're going to need some time to get used to this because, again, I don't feel like you're really believing it as it first happens. I really don't. I don't think you're believing it. But this is to let you know the other person is making this choice. You just I feel like you put your foot down. You're like not living the half-life, not doing it. And you know what? We're not doing anything at all. When you're free, you can come back to me. But for now, you need to stay away because I'm not doing it. Not as long as you're attached to that person. I'm not doing it. And then this person made their decision. You're ready in their spot here for them. The environment is telling me they're going forward with this. And this is going to stick. It's going to stick. But I feel like you have to get through this moment. Like, for you, the dust has to settle. The dust has to settle. Like, yeah, all right, it's a shock. It happened quick. But you're like, yeah, you know what? People get back together all the time. People break up, and then they get back together. So until I have something solid to hold on to realize it's truly done, I have to just wait. I have to wait it out. I got to wait it out a little bit. But it's telling me it is going to go your way. This person is going to... They are ready. They are ending that relationship at the very least. We're good? Good. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. Excuse me. Sorry about my nose. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.